Hello everyone and welcome to Gaming with Murel. Today we are going to be playing FTL Faster Than Light Advanced Edition. Normally I like to review the games before I've been playing them too long so I can still kind of explain my thought process about why I like things and why I don't. But this one, I tried recording a video and I didn't know enough about it, and it was just a lot of sitting there waiting. And it wasn't very interesting, so I threw it out and I thought I'd start over. I've unlocked the first three layouts of this one. The NG Cruiser. This is the Kestrel, the one you start with. And we're just going to choose number 3. I haven't used number 3 yet. Yeah, no, I think I am actually going to go with layout B, because that's the one I know. I quite like it. And we're going to rename this, no, we call it, Flippy. I don't know, I'm not very creative this morning. It's kind of a rainy, dreary day. Just have to deal with it. And we are going to play it on easy, just because it is an incredibly difficult game, and this ship has a couple disadvantages. And I'm just going to point them out quickly before we start. First of all, I only have one crew member. Most of the other ships start with 3. This is balanced out by the fact that I start with a lot of drones. And these drones here, 2 sysrep drones, they'll repair any subsystems or systems that have been damaged. Any personnel drone, I can turn that on and it'll attack anything that's on the ship that shouldn't be. But we don't start out with sensors, so we have to keep an eye out for sensors in the stores, which really puts us at a bit of a disadvantage. But first things first, let's jump. The exit's over here. This is where we're going to try to get. And for this series, just because the game itself is quite long, I think I'm going to try to split it up into sectors. I've seen some people that have been doing it like whole runs, and I've seen some people that have been cutting it in half. I think just per sector, there's 8 per game, so should keep this fairly fast-paced for you. So we just turned on our 2 weapons here, and as you see, it took some power. We have 3 weapon power, so we can turn them both on. The heavy ion here should disable their shield, and then we'll come in with the heavy laser after that and take out their first weapons, then oxygen. I personally really like to kill the entire crew because you get so much more rewards from it. But you do have to play a much longer game, which unfortunately does take a lot longer. A lot of patience necessary. But actually, these guys are trying to run, so we're going to take out the engine first. And that's just going to keep them from running. And just because if this is a rebel ship, if it gets away, it'll let the rebels know where we are in it. It's going to speed up the jump process for them for, I think, 1 turn. And I'd just rather avoid that. It'll give us a little bit more time to grind. Realistically, in the boss fight, the longer you've had to grind, the better. So that's what we're going to do here. Just try to grind as much as possible, get scrap for upgrades, maybe find a couple good weapons. Last couple runs, I've been getting pretty lucky with the weapon drops, but they are all random, so there's no way of knowing exactly when you'll get something. So that makes it really difficult to strategize in the long term, but it will give us a bit of a benefit in theory, I guess, just towards replayability. You never really know what exactly is going to be thrown at you. And their ship breaks apart. We got 1 missile, 1 drone part, 25 scrap. Let's see. So our drone base out. Let's turn on a system rep drone. These do require drone parts, but you don't lose them if you deactivate them because they're on your ship. So you can reactivate and deactivate those at will. And what we're going to be looking for is anything that causes fire on the ships. Fire beam, I would love fire beam. firebomb even. I prefer a boarding drone, but if we can get a crew teleporter in a clone bay, as long as we have enough crew, that is another viable option to wreak some havoc. So we're going to go to the distress signal first. There was a store there, but I'd like to get a little more scrap before we go. And we have a blue option here, and that's just unlocked by having an NG crew. You can unlock these blue ones by having special weapons, crew members, things like that. And normally it has a better reward than the other one, so we're going to select this. And with no fear of catching the disease, our NG crew member helps reassure and organize infected humans, and we get a little bit of scrap. Not as much as I'd like, but we can hit this beacon before we go to the store, so we'll do that too. Attack the pirate. And the first couple sectors should be a bit of a cakewalk. Our heavy ion can take out a single shield like that quite easily, but we're really going to need probably an ion charger, maybe, or an ion blast. Something that can shoot either quicker or heavier bolts. And we have intruders on board. And we don't oxygen. So we're going to open the doors and try to smother them. And while we do that, we're going to drop our engines and the med bay and turn on our anti-personnel drone. Now, we are going to take quite a beating in this fight, just because we don't have super strong shields yet. Oh, and we missed, and we keep missing. Nothing is more frustrating than having a really great setup and just not being able to hit anything. That is infuriating. And now, I do personally tend to leave auto fire on. I find you can micromanage easily enough by just clicking on that when you've shot the one shot you wanted. And what we're going to do is drop him and turn on our system repair drones, both of them, and get them to work, because we have lost one level of drones, no oxygen, no engines, so we are hurting. And of course they go to repair that one first. So we're gonna... No, we'll leave him. Oxygen's at 70% still. They have time. Right now, all we're doing is sitting here. We need that weapon system to come back online, because we need that heavy laser to do damage. The ion will essentially ionize something, cause it not to work with a little EMP burst, but that's temporary, and it doesn't actually cause any damage, so we can turn off the shields, but until we get the heavy laser hammering on something, all we're doing is stopping them momentarily. And oxygen's fixed. No, we are not going to accept their surrender. You get better payouts if you do destroy them, but if they do surrender and you're hurting, if we were red, I might consider it, but 9 times out of 10 I'll just destroy them. Just makes life easier. Because really, the more scrap you get, the better off you are in the long run. It's quite disheartening to leave the perfect weapon at a store because you simply didn't have quite enough scrap. But we have 100 now, so we're going to bounce to the store. The rebels are closing in a little bit. Drone recovery arm. We could use another crew member, though. Have repair speed, skills improve slightly faster. Let's go with Mr. Bugga. And he's a mantis. They're the pirate evil race in this game. And let's slap them on weapons. And see, even without sensors, we can't see what's on our own ship, which is just a pain. But we've kind of painted ourselves into a corner there. I wish I'd been paying attention, so we're going to lose jumping to this empty system. But we can still make it to the exit, so it's not the end of the world. Mildly inconvenient, but not the end. So, we have enough fuel. Let's give them one. There's a reward, or quite possibly a reward. And quest marker. Let's see if we can get to it. Okay, so let's take them. We're going to have to double back to hit the exit system. But, you know, things could be worse. We have a bit of distance between the advancing rebel fleet and us. And I didn't really clarify this, but in this game, you're one of the fallen Federation on your way to kind of the Federation's last hurrah. The rebels are winning. You're not in a good place. You're just trying to get to the battlefield to help your friends, all the while going through potentially hostile and scary space fighting aliens and all that sort of thing. So, here we are fighting a rebel. Oh, Caesar. Kitty Cat wants to get in on this. Yeah, we're blowing up a rebel. Okay, so our shields are out temporarily. Okay, there. So we've disabled their weapons. They won't be able to fire at us, and their shields have been kind of perma-ionized as long as we keep pecking away with the heavy ion. So we're going to take out their oxygen, see if we can, asphyxiate them before they can repair the weapons. If not, we may just have to destroy the ship altogether. Once you get things like the firebomb or the boarding drone or even mind control can be really good if used properly. You can just mess their day up. A good fire beam across 5 rooms, lighting 3 or 4 systems on fire is just a wonderful feeling. Okay, so if you looked up above the ship, they tried to get away, which, as I kind of mentioned, if they did, they would be able to give the enemy an advantage to catch up to us. But we took out their engines, so now they're delayed. You can also accomplish this by taking out the room with this icon. That's the bridge. And so, let's hit the store before we jump out. In the ship, I really do like to check out every store because you never know what you may find. Beautiful. So, we're going to get rid of one of the system rep drones and throw in a boarding drone. And we are off to the races. This is wonderful. Let's buy a couple drone parts and some health. And then we're going to try and get away. And as per my promise, we're going to jump through here and end the episode. And we'll pick it up in Sector 2. So we're going to go in here, next sector. I hate nebulas, so we're going to go Mantis controlled. Red dots are hostile, controlled by pirates, so this should be interesting. Higher risk, higher reward, nothing sitting on us, or sitting on the gate waiting for us. So I'm going to end it here. I want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, like the channel, subscribe, check us out on our Twitter at Gaming with Murel, and thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed yourself.